So let's find out who the person is. Well, our first fireside chat is with a dynamic, multi-talented and award-winning artist whose career spans music, broadcasting, education, and entrepreneurship. She is a double MOBO award-winning saxophonist. She blends reggae, jazz, and soul together. Beautiful fusion there. She's collaborated with The Temptations, Billy Ocean, and increasingly, I look like Billy with this beard. And she's composed for major children's series, including Sesame Street, Bees Block, and Netflix's Coco Melon Lane. She was awarded an OBE a couple of years ago for her contributions to music and education. She is Yolanda Brown, of course, chair of the BPI and chancellor of the University of Kent. She's a regular on television and radio, hosts shows for Jazz FM, Scala Radio, and the BBC. She founded the London Saxophone Festival and opened her own music venue and restaurant, Soul Mama, which broke crowdfunding records, but with the banks involved. I'm not saying anything more about that. She's a true Renaissance woman, and she enjoys, this is interesting, racing cars. Was she in F1 with Damson Idris and Brad Pitt? I'm not sure. She likes solving Rubik Cubes and appearing on various TV quiz shows. Before we meet her in the flesh right here, live on stage, let's see her in action. Run VT.
Get you back up off the wall, you say, dance.
Music has always been an important part of my life. You know, I grew up listening to the record player, grew up listening to so many different genres of music, and I think that's when I realised that music is just music. It's not necessarily this classical and this is rock, this is pop. Music was just music. Some days I would hear a symphony playing, some days I would hear a Latin band playing, sometimes I'd just hear, you know, a sound system, the reggae vibes playing. So for me, it was all about emotion. It was something therapeutic. It was my diary. It was my way of creating. It wasn't even a piece of music. It was creating a sound that just meant something for that emotion. And luckily, I had the saxophone. I could take it with me through university, on my travels. And it wasn't until sort of starting my PhD and joining a band that I realised, actually, you can actually do this as a profession.
Hello to you.
Hello to you.
Now, I think I first encountered you when you were this entrepreneurial saxophonist some 20, I mean, I don't want to carbon date you, but more than 20 years ago.
It's not possible.
No. And I thought, oh, she's really talented. I'd never seen a female saxophonist before. And look what's happened in the intervening years. Now, you might have seen that quote from Jack Welch, the former boss of General Electric, and he said, you need to have fun. You need to be the chief meaning officer. So how much fun, how much meaning?
Fun has to be the drive. I translate fun to passion, to be fair, you know, because it's not always fun. Keep it real with you. Sometimes it's hard work, you know. Just here in the previous panel, I was getting neck ache from nodding so much. Because, you know, having passion, having drive, and knowing what you want to see for the future, you have a direction, and you have something that you want to achieve. So when you're hearing no's and not yets and I don't understand and really you, with what money, with what qualifications, it's not fun. It's not. But the passion that is burning within you is the thing that drives you and lets you enjoy the journey. And that's something that I try to always remember. Flew in very early yesterday from touring in Philadelphia, straight into a workshop, straight into studio, and then here today. It's tiring. Yeah. But it's fun. I'm having fun being here with you all and meeting amazing people and getting inspiration every moment. So, yeah, tap into the passion is what I would say.
Now, when you look at the range of strings to your bow, it's considerable. So you have the performance, you have the restaurant, you have the chancellorship of University of Kent, where you studied management science. Yeah. Came back later to take over. All these things that you do, which of them makes you feel most meaningful, gives you the greatest reward out of all the things you do?
I don't think there's any one. And, you know, I remember in the very early days finding my manager, who's still my manager today, T, and we were coming back from, you remember Choice FM? Yes. So we're coming back from a Choice FM.
I remember it well.
So I remember being on the train, coming home from Choice FM, and he said, what kind of musician do you want to be? Are you a straight ahead jazz club musician? You're going to tour around the world? What is it? And I said, well, I didn't study music. So again, following passion and everything that I said on the VT, I enjoy the idea of playing music, changing somebody's day, hoping that they get inspiration, talking to them through sound. I didn't know that that was even a thing growing up. So I didn't know that would be my profession. So I see myself as somebody bringing joy, bring entertainment, bring enlightenment, and bring hope. Within that then, it's vast, you know. So we did I love a spider diagram. If you don't do it, do try. Yolanda Brown in the middle, and of course, touring musician, broadcaster, writing for children's TV, being a presenter, philanthropy, working in music industry. All of those things were on that mind map in 2005. And so as opportunities have come through my journey, it's not a, oh, should I do that? I can't do that. It's a yes, because it feeds into my nucleus, which is, does this give joy, entertainment, and hope? So I can't pick one, and I've tried, because every time people say, you should learn to say no, you know. But actually, the vantage point of all these different things feeds in. So, you know, even being chair of the BPI, we own and organise the Brit Awards, the Mercury Prize. We represent all of the record labels here in the UK and advocate and lobby for the music industry. Being a functioning artist and sitting around that table and chairing that board, lobbying to government, content protection, all the rest, it gives me a very unique vantage point that then when I open a music venue, I understand what artists need. Or when we're talking about AI and how it affects creatives, I can understand that because I also am using it and have to figure out how do I use it responsibly. So I can't choose one. It's a very, very long-winded answer for that.
Well, one of those things that has always struck me about you, having first seen you, I don't know which theatre it was, maybe one of those down in Lewisham. Was it the Lewisham?
Catford.
Yeah, one of those. It was maybe one of those Tony Fairweather events.
Yes.
In celebration of my sisters. Who remembers those from back in the day? He still does it now. I saw you were in your 20s, and you're just weaving your way around the audience in a very funky and confident way. And a lot of us were older than you, but we were kind of blown away by your skill, by your energy. And I thought, this is amazing. Where do you get that from? And you've taken that into not almost, everything that you've done.
Yeah.
So in my case, my confidence comes from mum and dad. Very, very clear. Ashantis, you know, it's very direct, even though they raised me in Manchester. But where does yours come from? Because I think it is the thread that runs through everything you do.
Yeah, I guess upbringing is really important. I do thank my parents every day. Now being a mother of two, I've got an 11-year-old and a 5-year-old. And I want them to feel confident in everything they do, to walk into a room and know that they are themselves. I'm not always walking into a room as a black woman with that minority fever on. I'm walking into a room because I'm Yolanda Brown, and the thing I remember my dad always saying is, whenever you go out there, you're representing the Brown family. Well, I've got to represent them correctly, and I've got to represent myself correctly. I don't ever feel less than walking into a room where there aren't any other black people. I feel privileged, and I feel like finally we've broken through. Okay, I'm the first one here. Who else are we bringing in here? Making sure that we're creating space for the next generations. And so I think, you know, upbringing, yes, but also that inner knowledge that we all have something unique to bring the world. You know, I love the idea that a fingerprint, if you think how many hands are in this room alone, never mind in the whole world, our fingerprint is unique. Nobody else has the same fingerprint. That's why you can use it as a security system. It's your passcode. Well, that means that's something that I have to offer that nobody else has. And so if you walk into a room with that knowledge, knowing that I'm here and I have something, my lived experience, my upbringing, my family, my heritage, all of that is something that I can bring with me into this role, then speak about it positively. Be passionate about it. And if somebody tries to knock you down, it's because they don't understand. And you're there to educate them. So I think that's the thing, the inner confidence that comes.
And at what point did you realize that, as well as being an extremely skilled musician, there was also an entrepreneurial fire that needed to be kindled that made you think, okay, I can play this instrument, but perhaps I can also manage, perhaps I can also lead, perhaps I can also run something. At what point did that become clear to you?
It was from the very beginning. You know, as I say, I didn't study music. I was studying up to PhD level in management science. And if I'm honest with you, I got there because I did my undergraduate in management science, loved it, didn't feel that once I'd done my thesis, I'd reached the end of it, so I still had more to contribute to academia. But also, I went to a careers fair after my 4 years of my undergraduate with the same CV and the same blue suit and the same thing that everyone had coming off the train. I just thought, not yet, I'm not ready, I got to go back. So I stayed in academia until I found this career, and the PhD is still on the back burner. As Chancellor now, hopefully one day I'll shake my own hand, give myself the degree. But I found music and, started touring, writing my own music. But the entrepreneurial element comes from that, because there's no record label. I didn't come up through anybody's band, so no one was going to book me. We had to literally build this brand, Yolanda, with the capital D, from the ground up. After seeing you, probably in Catford or one of those gigs, it was like, my manager said, let's do our own gig. How? How do we do our own gig? We booked the Mermaid Theatre in Blackfriars, 600 seats. If we sell them out, I can pay for the band and I can pay for the venue hire. That literally is it. And that's the entrepreneurial mind.
I came to that gig.
You did? Thank you.
Mermaid, Blackfriars, I was there.
That was my first one in 2007.
Yeah.
From there, we booked Cadogan Hall, 900 capacity, sold it out. Then Indigo 2000. And we just kept going and building it. No booking agent, no label, and literally had to build a brand and see myself as a brand. And I still do. I can sit in any meeting and they can say, oh, that gig, well, that wasn't so good, or maybe we should do this, and speak about Yolanda as the product. And I think I've always done that. So then opening, the London Saxophone Festival, or Soul Women Unite, or Soul Mama, most recently, it's the same kind of can-do attitude and understanding the concept and wanting people to experience it. We've got to go through however we can.
And thus far, Yolanda, in our little chat, we've sort of presented this as the irresistible rise of Yolanda Brown. But there has been resistance, I'm sure. Yeah. Can you talk about some of the challenges you faced and what strategies you've used to get around them or punch right through them?
Yeah, so I guess, building I'd like to say a profile for 20 years, you would hope that, showing a track record of being an artist, releasing records, touring around the world, creating these different events and albums, starting Soul Mama, a live music venue and restaurant, the food, fusion of African, Caribbean and Southern American flavors, our own food, the acts on stage. It's music that is good for your soul. It can be classical, it could be funk, it can be jazz, it can be soul, it can be calypso, it can be whatever it wants. It can be comedy, it can be poetry. Because, in those early days where I didn't have an agent and we wanted to play certain jazz clubs, I heard that I wasn't jazz enough.
Ooh.
I heard things like that. I could sell the room though, but she's not jazz enough, she can't come in here. There's different barriers that were presented along the way. And I never want any young artist or established artist to feel that. Come to Soul Mama and feel at home. So the concept makes sense. When we talk about some of the stats that we heard in that previous panel, venue ownership, black venue ownership, there isn't even a stat. Like there's no number.
I struggle to think of any.
How many black-owned venues are there? It's very, very small. So when we talk about diversity in a concept, when you've got Ronnie Scott's Pizza Express, 606 Club, all of this amazing legacy, the concept works, we know that. However, so many of our musicians and our community are being left out of it. So how do we create our own? That's always been the drive. Also with some great food as well, So 2014, we bought the domain name soulmama.co.uk. Check it out. That's where you find out what's happening. We bought that in 2014. 10 years it took us to open doors. We finally opened doors in August 2024.
Very good. 10 years, okay.
10 years, but...
Yes.
So when we bought the domain, it exists. You could have a nice holding page. This is great. Create a fantastic PDF document with pictures, numbers, all of the predicted forecasts, everything. And I had owned a restaurant before, so I had knowledge and understood how the industry works. Went to the banks, all of the banks.
Including this bank here?
I bank with this bank, all of the banks.
Okay.
No's from every single one. Not even a kind of, and it's great, all the programs that exist, it's fantastic, it's really, really great. But not even a conversation. It all goes into a computer and computer says no, and then that's it. Again, the drive of passion for me is important. I can see the concept in my mind. I've played in these venues around the world. It's an offering that we need here in the UK. In my mind, I see Soul Mama as a touring platform for artists, right? So they'd be able to go to any Soul Mama in any country, in any city, and know that they're looked after. That's what I want people to feel. So friends and family say, don't worry about the banks, it's all right, go to the investors. That's how they do it, all this Dragon's Den, go to investors. So we had all the paperwork, everything is there, so took it to the investors, and the things that we kept hearing back was, open your first 5 and come back to us. How do you even begin to start a business by someone saying, I'm coming to you because I want to open my first 1. Hopefully we can grow together, right?
Yolanda, when you say the investors,
yeah.
Who? Which investors?
I don't want to send you.
No. You said if you have no money, I'm broke. I'm just doing gigs, man. No, but I mean, what kind of investors? What kind of profile? How did you decide who to approach?
Well, we were approaching everyone. This is a 10-year journey. I'll meet anybody that wants to meet and entertain. There's people that have been involved in the rise of certain venues that already exist, who, speaking to some great business people, and they say, they worked on, I don't want to say so many names, they worked on so-and-so venue. They'd love this, go there. And they'd say, open your first 5, come back to me. Obviously, they want to ride on the coattails of success. Sure. This is fine. But we're talking about, how do you start a business? How do you start a concept? How do you build in a community? So 3 years ago, we decided to embark on a crowdfund. So remember, we've had this domain name for 7 years now, had umpteen meetings, loads of lunches, eaten in the finest restaurants around the world. And we decided to embark on a crowdfund on the Kickstarter platform. And people could buy their meal in advance. You're going to come. Fantastic community, even wonderful people in this room. You're going to come at some point. So buy your meal now as a voucher, and then you can redeem it when you come. You could buy a membership to Soul Mama. You could buy a ticket to my first show, which was lovely and emotional. You could buy a T-shirt, or just give what you could. Literally, what you can, let's raise funds. And even the Kickstarter platform, bless them, we went to them and said, this is what we want to do, this is our concept. And they said, oh, restaurants, they don't really do very well. And they said, well, if you do a 30-day campaign, let's see how it goes. And we thought 30 days is not enough to tell all these people we need to tell what the concept is. So we said, we want to do a 60-day. They were like, on your head be it, kind of thing. So we did, and it was the most white-knuckle-rided 60 days I've ever had of social media, telling people about it, keep on supporting. This is the unit that we're thinking of being in. Come and see. Can you imagine it with us?
You even came into Times Radio, I seem to remember.
Even came into Times Radio, yeah, it was true. It was all true. Yeah. And we managed to raise the most that a venue has raised globally on the Kickstarter platform and got in the Guinness World Records. Which is good.
Okay, there's a pregnant question that's hanging in the room. How much did you raise?
£248,148.
Very good. Okay, so the money came in. What next?
Right, so the money came in, but equally, it helped us to open doors. I am still, as a business owner of a business that has been running for a year. We've got our first year of accounts, which is fantastic, which a lot of people said, until you, oh, thank you. It's important.
That's one of your investors, maybe.
It's a bigger, yeah, come and see me. It's a pivotal point. But during that whole time, we've opened doors, we've opened. The concept worked. Some of those investors that said, open your first 5, are like, I get it now. Oh, now. So that was a holding place thing you were trying to do. But we're still in the point where to run this business in the way we want to run it, bringing renowned acts from the US, we have to pay deposits. Yeah. I can spend all of our months just booking acts for 6 months' time. So the whole thing about cash flow and understanding it, I'm still going to banks, I'm still going to investors to say, this concept works. I've got testimonials, you come yourself and have a sort of a great time, a life-changing time. How do we invest and build and help me grow this thing? And so I'm still in that, and I'm going to be very honest with you. You can come to somewhere, you'll have a fantastic time, it's all running smoothly and it's all great. But as a business owner, it's still hard. And as a 1-year running outfit, we're still a startup, if you like. And so that support for startup businesses, I don't think is there. Wow. And if I'm wrong, come and see me, but I'm not seeing it. I'm a woman, I'm a black woman. I hear about all these wonderful programs and outreaches. it's not hitting me.
But how different is the pitch now from what it was a couple of years ago? Because you got that money. Clearly, there are enough people out there, both here and abroad, who donated, who love the concept and probably have come down to it. The proof of concept, certainly in the initial stages, is there. So how different is the response now from the banks and the investors?
I
Surely
feel
they're
like
not still telling you to open the first 5.
some. I feel like we're still treading water a little bit. I've superseded what that forecast was on that beautiful PDF. We've turned over way more than we had planned to. We've even signed the lease on our second location.
Whoa.
But still doing this in that organic nature that I always have for 20 years. So it would be really interesting to engage in those conversations.
Excellent. We're approaching the 10-minute countdown. I could talk to you all day, of course. But I think it's only fair, given how inspirational you've been, to throw this open to our friends and colleagues in the room. Please make your questions very tight to give Yolanda more time to respond. It's hard to see because of the lights. Do we have anybody who wants to ask Yolanda a question? Perhaps somebody who's been to the restaurant. Lady at the front here. Can we get the microphone to lady at the front here? No, right here. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Hello, I have been to your restaurant. It was absolutely fantastic.
Did you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it. And I went for my birthday and I took about 10 friends.
Bless
Really
you. Thank you so much.
My question is a simple one. What would have made a difference to you in your first year in terms of the support, the advisory support that you mentioned is not there?
Very good.
Yeah, I think, the community support has been fantastic. Seeing people come and experience it, spend their hard-earned money there is brilliant. I just think, as a business, when you start up, you've got point-of-sale systems, you've got to buy all new equipment in the kitchen. It's startup where you need the funding. I can make money because we've got artists every day and the restaurant is open. We can generate cash flow, but that startup capital is really, really important. I'm opening a second location. I still need it. It's always going to need to be there. Equally, the running costs of a live music venue, for example, booking artists, I'm working 6 to 8 months in advance and paying out deposits. Cash flow runs really quickly. But the concept is there. So I think, for me, it's run through the numbers, ask all the questions you want to ask, and tell me why it's not viable. But I'm not even getting any feedback. So that's
very quickly, the 250,000 came through Kickstarter, got the doors open. How much did you really need?
about 500.
500,000.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll talk to my friends. No, wait a minute.
Yes, please.
Yeah, no.
Hi, Yolanda. Thank you so much, not only for what you shared today, but just how unapologetically you shine in everything that you do. And so I just wanted to thank you for that, first of all.
That's lovely.
So my area of expertise is cash flow, is women in business. I'm coming to find you after.
Make sure.
I absolutely will. But my question to you is about your children, because you wear all these incredible hats and you do it with such grace and a real shine and sparkle. But to them, your mum, I don't know. And so I'd love to know the conversation you're having with your children to help them not only to, be on the journey with you, but really inform their own journey so they really get to stand on your shoulders as they start their own journeys.
That's a lovely question. Yeah, I think for me, it would be impossible to do it any other way. They are part of my journey. So I'm a musician. I didn't take a normal job, as my mum would call it. So there's no maternity leave. So, I toured till I was 9 months pregnant. Even in the VT, when I was playing with Rick Astley, I was 9 months pregnant. And he went down on one knee, and I was like, oh, God, I'm going to have to go down. And then I was like, I'm going to get back up. So, they've been on stage with me from the womb. Then when they're born, they come on tour. My dad used to come on tour as well as the Manny. And, it's a real family affair. Now that they're in school and they've got their own social diaries, they love coming on tour, seeing what we're doing. In the summer, last summer, they were unwrapping chairs and getting Soul Mama ready. They have to be a part of it. They have to understand what we do and why we do it. And only a couple of weeks ago, my 5-year-old said, Mummy, when I grow up, I'm going to have 6 jobs like you. Oh. I said, no, don't do it. But I think there's something in it that I want to show them. And, in all the workshops that I do, when I go into schools, be it music workshops or just life skills or experience, that you can do what you want to do. As long as you can make time for it and you feel that it's possible, you can do it. I think one of the biggest lessons I found as a parent, baby-led weaning was like mind-blowing for me, that the baby would be able to tell me when she wanted to eat and what she was ready to eat. And, you know, sometimes she even surprised me and, you know, she was ready for solids before I was ready and I was still mashing up and she just grabbed the banana and just get in there. So, you know, I think in parenting, allowing them to feel and allowing them to discover what they want to discover is really important. The mum guilt is real, you know. When we're on tour, I mean, I've been on tour in Philadelphia for the last 5 days. I've come home and then this week is a full week of work. I'm missing my daughter's sports day this morning. I'm feeling it. I'm getting videos every now and then. But bless them, they understand. And I think they understand because I have them as part of the journey. So yeah, it's a blessing to be a parent as well.
Beautiful. Do you have another question? Let's have a look. Yes, right there.
It's not a question, actually. I'm co-founder of Soul Mama with Yolanda. I wanted to say to Dr. Carlton, this is absolutely excellent. Just looking around the room and seeing the diversity of the audience is absolutely excellent. It's not a question, actually. It's just something that Yolanda and I have learned since launching Soul Mama, which is that it's important to be intentional with our actions as a community. And I'm speaking to the people in the room who are black and the people who are friends of black people. We've opened Soul Mama now since August last year. We don't have a lot of people that look like us who have come as customers. And I'm saying that we're talking about black business entrepreneurs. It's important to be intentional with our support of black business as well. Yes, there's the bank. Yes, there's the finance. Yes, there's all of that. But as people who have money in our pockets and business cards and all of that, we need to support black business ourselves. In America, this is real. And back at home, we need to do exactly the same. And I'll be honest, I've learned a lesson myself because it's only been on the other side that I now understand. So I'm saying with humility and pleading as well, is that please go online, book a ticket to a show, bring your friends. But away from Soul Mama, support black business yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Do we have right there? Yeah.
Sorry, it's me again. So I did share that. With,
Oh, it's you.
yeah, it's me again. Sorry. So I'm from an organisation called Trampoline, and just wanted to also share that we're opening an enterprise hub in the heart of Elephant Castle, particularly for us. Nice. Where we secured 1.25 million. So my boss is, so I think you should have a conversation with my boss.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Great stuff. Thank you, Trampoline, over there.
Good afternoon, Yolanda.
Hi.
You're a great example of what you can do when you try your hardest. I'm not good at speaking, so I might fluff my words a little bit. But what I wanted to ask you is, what did you find was one of your hardest barriers? I know you mentioned, obviously, getting into this business, it was very difficult. I'm kind of the belief that if you're trying to do something very difficult, it's not going to be easy for you. And I don't want anyone else here to think that it's going to be easy. You are going to have to fight no matter what's going on. But I'd like you to tell everyone, like, what was the hardest barrier for you getting through in business?
It's so interesting. You know, I choose not to see barriers. I choose not to see them. If it's a no, then it's a what next? You know, hence the crowdfund, hence still being here, hence opening. So I think the hardest thing is to stay centered and remember why you're doing something. Remember why you're striving to do it. Remember why you're pushing. It's interesting now, opening the business, it's not just me anymore. You know, all of those entrepreneurial things we spoke about as an artist, it's me on stage. If I go and fluff it, I go and fluff it. Or, you know, it's me and my band. I prepare my band, I leave my band. So if it goes wrong, it's me. Now, having a business that employs people and having a staff of over nearly 30 people, you think, goodness, you know, it's dependent on the people. And so I think that, to me, is the biggest challenge now, is as this thing is building and everybody knows the story, we've had to do the story out of doors, you know, rather than, you know, behind the scenes just dealing with the bank manager or whatever. The staff are the extension of me now. And I think that's something that I cherish, but is really a challenge sometimes to make sure that everybody understands the vision and everybody's striving and driving together.
Fantastic. Do we have one more? Can't see. Where? Right there? Yes? Okay. Lady in green, is that right? Yeah.
This is the lady in green. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Yolanda, for being so authentic and for sharing your journey, because as we would appreciate, everyone has a different journey. And I can be quite honest in that I was not aware that Soul Mama exists. So I will be coming across and I'll be getting a crew together to come as well.
A crew?
Yes. So I work for the High Commission of St. Lucia. And so it's really good to hear your story, hear your journey, and everyone's journey is different. And as you said about Black businesses and having a place to perform, because from a personal perspective, I have a friend who's always been saying she wants to bring her daughter to perform, and the challenge and the cost. So you have now provided an opportunity for us to support each other. And as your manager says, when we look around, we see different people in the audience. And we must change that mindset. It comes from within. Let's support each other. Let's look at the other races and how they're succeeding and take from them and apply it to ourselves. So I hope that after today, Soul Mama will be in demand. And you'll have to wait a few months. So thank you for sharing your story, and I'd like to connect with you later on another matter.
Oh, good. Thank you.
You again. We've already heard from you. Let's see if this man wants to speak again. But before he does anybody else want to speak, just in case? Is that somebody who's not spoken? Okay, briefly, yes. And then maybe we'll get back to you. Okay.
Just very quickly, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Yolanda. You've been a real inspiration to me. I work in the arts. And, you know, it is always a struggle. It's always about money, and it shouldn't be. I live in South London. I'd love to know where your second venue is going to be, because we lost the Hideaway.
Hideaway, I know.
Yeah?
Oh.
We lost the Hideaway in South London, which is very similar to what you've created.
Yeah.
Yeah? So please, come to South London.
We're coming to South London. We are coming to South London, not this location, but we are coming to South London, and we are going into the north as well. Am I meant to say? Can I say where it is? No, where the second location is. Okay, so we are going to come to South London. We actually had a unit that fell through, unfortunately, so it's in our sights, and I used to play the Hideaway. It's a brilliant place. So our next location actually is still in East London. We're in Stratford, just on the edge of the Olympic Village, in the ground floor of the Gantry Hotel. We're going to be in Westfields, so we're going to be in the
Wonderful, well done, that's brilliant.
So we're going to be the first music venue in Westfield, and then we move to Newcastle as well.
Let's get
Well, I'd love to.
Where Norwich? Oh, sorry. Supplementary question from that guy, gentleman there, yeah. Okay. Norwich is great, yeah. Go on.
Testing. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, it was only a quick question. Well, actually,
No, quick question.
It was the information. There's actually
he's got a
something called the
spreadsheet.
Pathway Fund, which is actually unlocking investments and opportunities for Black and ethnically minoritized communities. So it's something that I was at an event earlier this week, but I know it's something that the government set up because money actually supposed to be going into communities. So
what was
just
it
be
called
aware of
again?
it. Pathway Fund.
Pathway Fund, okay.
Yep. I also aware that NatWest do also like social, economically kind of funds into organisations in the community as well. So
thank you very much for that.
I just want to say thank you. All of they weren't really questions, and really great that we're connecting, and thank you so much for the recommendations, and I love to pick that up. I just hope that people have taken from this, it wasn't meant to be a Soul Mama advert, I just hope people have taken from this some inspiration and some drive, and be passionate about what you're driving for, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Don't hide your line in a bushel. Yolanda Brown, that was fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. We wish you, T, every success with Soul Mama and everything else you do. One more time for Yolanda Brown.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Henry.